Hebrews chapter 11 verse 6 says, without faith you cannot please God. And here's why faith is so important when you are waiting on God to move mountains in your life. In Luke chapter 8 verse 41, Jairus, a synagogue leader, comes up to Jesus and says, my daughter is sick, come and lay your hands on her and she will be healed. So Jairus' faith is saying, if Jesus, the one he's heard about, if Jesus puts his hands physically, Jairus' faith is saying, if Jesus puts his hands on Jairus' daughter will be well. That's beautiful, right? So Jesus sets off with his disciples. They go there, and then, but on the way, obviously a lot of people are excited to see Jesus. So like there's a lot of people. And then there's this woman who was bleeding for 12 years. Another thing, her faith said, if I only touch the hem of his garment, I will be healed. So she goes, she touches his garment, she is healed. And then Jesus also tells her, the garment is not what healed you. What healed you is your faith. And what did her faith say? If I touch his garment. But interesting enough, and then when they got at Jairus' house, someone came up to Jairus and said, your daughter is now dead. You took long. Your daughter is now dead. Do not bother Jesus anymore. And then Jesus immediately looks at Jairus and says, do not doubt, only believe, and she will be healed. That is such a mind-blowing moment right there. If Jairus did not have like solid faith, right then and there he could have been like, what do you mean believe? My daughter is dead. Like, she's dead. I came to get you, and you decided to heal a woman on the way. And that probably, we took a lot of time. That probably made a delay, and now my daughter is dead because you stopped to heal a different woman other than my daughter. So that would have been Jairus walking by sight, not by faith. But Jairus stood to that faith. Jairus held on to that faith. And what did Jairus' faith say? Lay your hands on her and she will be healed. Jesus goes into the house, lays his hands on her, and she gets up. Lays his hands on the dead girl's body, and she gets up. So a beautiful thing I want to share in this video is notice how a lot of the times Jesus performed miracles, he always asked people, do you want to be healed? And a lot of the times they said, yes, I want to be healed, and they believed, right? But an interesting thing he always said was, according to your faith, let it be done to you. Mind-blowing, right? Like, according to your faith, let it be done to you. Meaning, and Jairus' faith said, lay your hands on my daughter, physically touch her, and she will be healed. And she was healed because of that same faith. Even the woman that touched Jesus' garment, right? She was healed immediately because she told herself inside. She told herself, she believed deep down inside to say, if I only touch his garment, I will be healed. And according to her faith, it was done to her. This is beautiful. Another example for you. The centurion man who had a sick son, I believe, right? He came up to Jesus and he said, I am not worthy to come under your roof, and something like that. Something like that. I think I'm going to put the verse, I'm going to put the Bible verse right here so that you can read it for yourself. But for context, this centurion man had a sick servant, and the servant was, and then Jesus said, go and your servant will be healed. Right? So that centurion man had the faith to say, Jesus doesn't even need to be there physically to heal his servant. Jesus only has to say the word. The centurion man said, say the word and my servant will be healed. And according to this centurion man's faith, it was done to him. Like, so the thing I'm trying to say here is, he did those miracles according to their faith. Now imagine if all of them lacked faith. So for anybody hearing this, just make sure you keep that faith. Keep the faith.